Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name is Brandon. You're watching M.O.N.Comics. Please join me as I unbox my biggest book thus far in the year. And if you know this quote, you might have an idea what it is. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got a big book in here, one that I've wanted for a long time that until recently I didn't think I'd be able to get into. But I'm going to preface this with saying that I set some collecting goals at the beginning of the year, and the more I thought about it, going after Fantastic Four #1 at Terrificon, like I definitely want to do that, but it's going to take some saving and some penny pinching, and I'm going to have to maybe cut out some other stuff that I had in mind. So this book became available, and I said, okay, I'm going to swap out the Daredevil, finishing my 1 through 10 run, and I'm going to insert getting this book in its place. Because Daredevil 1, although it's the cheaper of the Silver Age, grails to acquire, it's still a big book in any grade. And the other books that I was missing under 10 weren't cheap either. So I said, I'll get this book because I've wanted it. It means a lot to me. And don't think bad of me that I'm going back on my collecting goals, but sometimes goals have to be adjusted, and you really have to think about stuff after the fact. So that's what I did. And before I get into this boxing, if you want to support the channel, I'd appreciate it. If it's your first time watching and you're not subscribed, please do so. Subscribing will support the channel, but also get you possible future giveaway entry requirements. So I'd appreciate if you do that. Leave a comment if you're a fan of this book or the movie that's associated with it, but let's get into it. All right, so I already cut into it to save some time. I got this book from my buddy JP, one half of the Absolute Game of Nerds YouTube channel, the Pepper to Rohan's Salt, if you will. He's a big fan of this character. If you grew up in the 90s, you might be a fan of this character. It is just really iconic, and he packaged this well. I guess I should have got right down to the book before. Of course, anyone who's does with a lot of comics, hopefully, knows how to pack well, and I know that JP does. He sent me other stuff before, and, you don't have to preface that. So, what book did I get? Well, if you guessed the quote, I'm talking about 90s movies. Bag. Wow. It is The Crow #1. Okay, let's do a little history of The Crow. So first appearance was on the back cover of Dead World #10 in 1988, previewing that this character was coming. And then his first appearance at all was in Caliber Presents #1 in 1989. The character is created by James O'Barr, and his first full appearance is this one, The Crow #1 from 1989, Caliber Press. Jim O'Barr did the story, the cover, and the art. This is the first limited series with 4 issues, and the 4 issues were titled Pain, Fear, Agony, and Despair. And I love this character. I grew up in the 90s. The movie came out in 94. And as a kid, I didn't know it was a comic character. And if you're familiar with the movie, you know about it. But if not, it is about a gentleman, Eric Draven, and his fiancée, Shelley Webster, on Devil's Night, which is October 30th. They're going to get married the next night on Halloween, and this gang come in and they do horrible things to Shelley, and then they kill Eric, but his love is so strong for her that he comes back from beyond the grave to take vengeance. And as a 14-year-old kid, little kind of tidbit of information about young M.O.N.Comics, I was a hopeless romantic. I was 14. I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was 17. And this movie showed you there was such a powerful love that you could come back from beyond the grave if you love someone enough. And I was fascinated with that. It was set in Detroit, like a dystopian Detroit. The soundtrack also, as a kid, drew me in. You had Stone Temple Pilots, you had The Cure, you had Nine Inch Nails, you had Rollins Band, you had Rage Against the Machine, Violent Femmes. I know I'm forgetting some, but it was just an amazing soundtrack. And the whole mythos behind it. So The Crow was played by Brandon Lee, which was the son of Bruce Lee, and he was tragically and accidentally killed while filming the movie. There was a mishap with a gun on the set, and Brandon Lee was killed. And when I was talking to JP about acquiring this, he showed me the graphic novel that I just ordered on Amazon so I could read the whole 4-part limited series. But James O'Barr kind of, fashioned this character after his own, tragic happenings in his world. And I think once I get that graphic novel, I'm going to talk about it, and I might do like a read through of it. But it was just really saddened me even more because this is all about tragedy. His life was very tragic, but this means the world to me. As a kid, I dressed up for him as Halloween. I was going to paint my face and everything. I just couldn't find the tote with the face paint from Halloween in it, but I was going to go all out, but I couldn't wait. I wanted to open it up and get this book. It's just a beautiful cover. A lot of people say this is the book that that a lot of people want to own because it has his face right on it. And a year ago, a cold October night, a broken down car on a dirt road, a man, a girl, madness, pain, and the shadows. My God, the shadows. So I think some of the characters are the same, but I think the settings are a little bit different from what JP told me. It's a 6.5. I don't care. This is a pricey book regardless. It was an indie comic, and the print run was really low on these. So this is a first print. There's a second and a third print as well. And I knew I wanted a first print if I could ever get it. And 6.5 is what I could afford. So again, don't hate me for going back on the Daredevil goal. Maybe I'll set it for next year. It was just too much. I took the opportunity to get this book, and now I can really save for the Terrificon experience. But I'm so grateful JP sold this to me. He upgraded to an 8.0, and he gave me first shot at this. And I'm a big fan of the movie, and I'm going to read the comics because I know I'll love them. And I can't believe I own this. My wife's a big fan too. She was freaking out. She wants to see this. So just want to do a quick unboxing of my first big book for the year, The Crow, #1. Really excited to add this to my collection. It's going right on the wall. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great week. I got a video dropping Friday, and then Friday night is Stories with Steven. It's going to be a great time going through the ages of comics and hearing his stories. He's a wellspring of knowledge that you're going to want to tune into to listen to. So hope everyone has a great rest of your week. And until next time, keep reading those comics.